Ladies and gentlemen, with our keynote, The Science of Attention, please put your hands together for Hilary Billings.
Gosh, this room is full of high-impact leaders, top people in their fields, industry experts, and mission-driven messengers. And how many of you know that you have the ability to impact lives? Just more people need to know about you. They just need to know that you're here and on the scene. And isn't that the challenge, right? In order to be the change maker that you are, you first have to grab and keep the attention of the people that you're here to serve. And isn't it funny? We actually spend so much of our time not doing the thing that we were meant to do, but just trying to bring people into our ecosystem. We focus on the email funnels. We focus on the website copy. We focus on perfecting those social media posts and trying to run the perfect ads, only to be met with silence. Meanwhile, that guy in your industry, you know the one I'm talking about, right? The one that has like half your expertise, and let's be honest, none of your charm. And they are just killing it on social media. And you're like, why them? Why is that person blowing up? What is it about them? The honest answer is that it's not about being the best. It's about knowing how to make content that converts. And that's what I want to talk about today. So I grew up in a little place you may have heard of called Las Vegas. And it is a city known for grabbing and keeping attention. And no, I did not grow up in a hotel. But I do like to say that I've had 9 lives as a career. I was an on-camera host and journalist for USA Today, producer for E! News. I worked for Extra Entertainment Television. I've been a reporter. I've been a personal brand strategist, a burn survivor turned Miss Nevada. And for a brief time, I was a lion trainer, but that's a story for a different day. The whole point being that I thought I knew what it meant to make great content. And then 2020 hit, and all of my revenue streams dried up. And then I was approached by an acquaintance of mine who happened to run the largest network of Facebook watch pages in the country. And he asked if me and my partner at the time would be interested in making short-form video content. So think BuzzFeed, Bored Panda, just highly viral content in nature, recipes, hacks, prank videos. And while it wasn't necessarily our wheelhouse, we had nothing else going on. So we're like, sure, why not? Let's become Mr. Beast level millionaires by the fall. That sounds amazing. So we started posting content, and we're like, all right, here comes that private jet money. This is going to be amazing. And we posted our first video, and then this happened. No problem. If you build it, they will come, right? We had to just keep going. So we kept trying and posting more and more videos. And then this went on for 9 months. We couldn't understand it. We were banging our heads against the wall. We knew all of these other influencers. We saw what they were doing. We tried copying what they were making content-wise, and it wouldn't work for us. And then it started to get into my head, like, well, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the problem. I became a Taylor Swift song. Anyone else ever felt that way about your content? Like, it's Bueller, just me? And what I realized after one fateful weekend, that it actually wasn't about me. It was just what I didn't know. And more importantly, what I didn't know that I was up against. Because the reality is, we are at a war for attention. And there is so much standing in the way for you to get it from your customer. Starting with 20 million new videos are posted every single day to the internet. Awesome. On top of it, we have more platforms than ever. And how do you know which ones are going to stick around, which ones are going to get banned by the government, which ones are going to end up in the graveyard alongside Vine and Periscope? Where do you put your time and energy? On top of that, we have more ads being pushed at us than ever before, with the average person seeing between 6,000 and 10,000 every single day. And to just add to this content cluster, our attention spans have decreased. Perfect. Now, and especially for you guys, making content, cutting through the noise, that's not your full-time job. That's not the thing that you want to be doing. And it's so frustrating. And so it might give you pause to be like, you know what? Maybe that TikTok ban isn't so bad after all. Like, let's just get that one out of the way. And while we're at it, let's just get rid of all of them, right? We'll all go back. We'll party like it's 1999 with Prince. Wouldn't that be better? The unfortunate part is that by longing and having that nostalgia for the past, we are actually costing us our future. And that's because of one very important thing, and that is that by next year, Gen Z will be the largest consumer population on the planet. And this changing of the guard matters. It's different than any previous generation for one specific reason. They do not remember life BAOL or before America Online. See, I remember when my family got its first Macintosh. You guys remember when you called it the full name? And I remember coming home from school and having to make the arduous decision, was I gonna call my best friend on her home phone number that I've memorized on the landline, or was I gonna watch this little guy run across the screen and see if I got mail? Never the two could meet, right? You had one line to do both. Did anyone else go over to a friend's house just to look at the computer? That was an activity that we would do after school. Like, times have changed so much. This matters because these upcoming generations, Gen Z and beyond, they've never known a life without digital media, without social media. So the way that they find brands, the way that they build relationships, the way that they find people they're gonna like, know, and trust is vastly different than any previous generation. So even though we want to live in the past, we want this to not be the reality, the truth is, if you are not focusing on how to earn the attention of this future clientele and being where they are, you are actively costing yourself your future business. Today's content is building tomorrow's clients. You ever been like, I'm gonna wait to do this really difficult thing that I don't wanna do until like God or the universe gives me a sign. And then the sign comes along and you're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna wait for a signier sign and then I'll do it, This is your signier sign. It is time to learn how to earn the attention of your clients online. Okay, so back to me. I realized that I had to do this too. And I was playing out this narrative, the story in my head that was not serving me. And that narrative looks something like this. Man, these influencers, they just pick up their phone and they record something and they throw it on the internet and then it accidentally goes viral and they're so lucky and I hate them. And that wasn't helping me. So I had to reframe this. Okay, what if everything that I thought was accidental about their success was actually really intentional? And I just didn't know what the formula was. I didn't know how to put content together in the right way. So my partner and I locked ourselves in a room and we watched thousands of viral videos one weekend. I do not recommend doing this for your mental health, by the way. But we didn't know what we didn't know. So we kept track of everything. What's happening at second 1? What's happening at second 3? What's happening at second 5? What are they wearing? What are they saying? What are the captions? What are the camera angles? What platform is it on? How long is the video? Is there trending audio? Anything and everything we could think of, we charted. And so once we unplugged from the matrix and my eyes stopped twitching, something really interesting happened. It was almost like John Nash in A Beautiful Mind, where these patterns started to emerge. Okay, interesting. Certain things needed to happen, regardless of industry, regardless of genre, regardless of platform, in order for a piece of content to capture and keep someone's attention. So we took these learnings and we applied it to our next video. That next video did 5 million views. Ooh, yeah. The video after that did 10 million views. And it's not to say that everything that we touched turned to gold, but roughly 1 in every 4 of our videos did over 1 million views after that point in time. 1 in every 10 did over 10 million. And we went from no views our first 9 months as content creators to over 1 billion organic views in the following 12 months as content creators. The formula that we would use would we then go on to teach other creators to the tunes of their billions of views and help our clients 250x their results. And most importantly, connect with the clients that they so desperately wanted to serve. And so now I want to share that formula with you today. And you might say, there is a science to getting someone's attention. And it goes like this. We want it to be as sensory as possible. We want to spark curiosity. We want to highlight the importance. We want to make it emotional, create novelty, cultivate connection, and leverage experimentation. Now today we're very short on time, so we'll just be focusing on how to create connection. And I could not think of a better story of how to illustrate not to do this than that of my friend Keir. Keir is a very successful entrepreneur. He owns a portfolio of boutique hotels called The Weekender. And recently, he fifth-wheeled on a couple's ski trip to Park City. And one of the primary topics of discussions that we were having with each other while hitting the slopes was how Keir was struggling to find a date. And so the conversation would go like this, like, buddy, what's the problem? Like, why aren't you finding the person that you want to connect with? And he'd be like, I don't know. You know, I match with these women, and then it just seems like they only want me to pay for things for them or take them on trips, and I don't understand what the problem is. It's like, what's so weird? Hand it over. Show me what you're working with. So he handed over his dating profile. I took one look at it, and I burst out laughing. Now, with his permission, I'm going to share a couple of photos that he was leading with, and I would love to see if you guys can maybe figure out where the disconnect was happening. And gentlemen, pay attention. So, okay, so we see the problem. Yes. Because while these are things that Keir likes, this is not who he is as a person. And what he was doing is he was sharing content that he thought women wanted to see, that he thought would make him more attractive, that he thought would bring in the people to him. And all it was doing was repelling the exact person that he was trying to connect with. And don't we all do that? We become performative. We think that we have to act a certain way, that we have to do the challenges, the trending audios, we have to be funny. And if we don't do the dances and those things, then that's gonna repel the people. But in fact, trying to be something you're not is what's repelling the people that you're here to serve the most. And so cultivating connection is all about authenticity. And in fact, studies show that 67% of people prefer authentic content to polished content. But how do you know? How do you know if you are being authentically yourself? I struggle with this sometimes too. Lucky for you, Attentioneers came up with a formula to help you figure this out. So you might want to write this down or take a photo of it. But the authenticity formula goes like this. Your authenticity is your values multiplied by your voice. It's your values multiplied by your voice. Give you like 2 more seconds to grab that screenshot. Let's talk about it. Your values are what you care about, what matters to you. Do you care about sustainability, faith, family? How are you showing that in your content? And then think of the voice as the personality of your brand, right? It's how would someone else describe you to somebody else? Are you funny? Are you edgy? Are you bubbly? And when these two things overlap and they're aligned, they start to magnify each other exponentially. It almost becomes like a bat signal out to the world for the people that also care about the things that you care about and want to hear about it in the way that you want to hear about it, or they want to share with you in the way that you communicate it. So what we want to do is we want to create this authenticity formula in all of your content so that it resonates with the person that you're here to serve, because content that resonates propagates. So I knew that we had a resonance issue with Keir's dating profile. And so I took what I knew about his authenticity formula, did a little surgery, and I'd like to get your thoughts on what you think of his revised profile. Oh, A+ to me? Thanks, yeah. After posting this, his inbox was flooded with genuine connections. So, the moral of the story is that if you need help with your dating profile, I'm available for hire. No, the moral of the story is that great content conveys your values. The more that you make content that conveys your values, that allows people to emotionally come in and connect with you. That allows them to become emotionally invested in you. And this matters. We need them to be emotionally connected and invested with you, because when people get emotional, they get promotional. When people get emotional, they get promotional. And this is how brands, messages, videos, change makers catch on like wildfire. You put out the bat signal. You're in alignment with your authenticity. They come in. They care about the things that you care about. And you're saying it in the way that they want to hear it. And now they become the message. They become the messenger for you. They become the evangelist of your brand, of your content. You don't have to work as hard. You've magnetized them to you. And now they go out and spread your message. They scream it from the rooftops. And this all starts with that genuine connection and that authenticity formula. We're in an age of attention. It is the most valuable resource that anyone can give you. And the people that are winning right now in the space, they're not lucky. They just understand that there's a science to this. And the more that you start leveraging the science of attention, not only will your business grow, not only will you be able to rise above the noise that's out there, you'll be able to make the impact that you're here to have. And who knows, maybe you'll even get a date out of it. Thank you so much.
All right. Put your hands together for Hilary Billings.